Hi there, Jackie with Life Emotion Gym, and today I just wanted to give some options for your yoga practice, ways to modify if it's hard to get into full expression of downward dog, upward dog, any of those transitions in and out of poses. So we're going to show a little flow that you could do on the floor instead of the traditional downward dog, plank, upward dog, back into downward dog, that back and forth. I'm going to show you a little bit of a modification for that, and then some modifications or just some options for you to get from the floor up to the ground or up to standing on the ground. So I'll be using some blocks. I do recommend having those available. That's really how it's going to be helpful to you to raise the ground up to you, to give your body some more space to move and to lift your leg a little bit freer. So you can use blocks, books, blankets, whatever you may have at home that will give you that support. But first, we're going to start with a nice, accessible little flow that I like to offer my students to at least start with until they can build up into those more difficult poses. So it's simply working from child's pose or tabletop, might be one or the other, and to modified plank, baby cobra, back into child's pose. So we are going to start, say we're in tabletop working here. And then knees come wide, toes together. Sink those hips back as far as you feel comfortable. You can always have padding under your knees or behind your knees if your hips can't sink all the way back or if you're having any knee pain. And then arms, try to reach out. The elbows can bend slightly here, but try to drop your head towards the ground. This can be where you can come back to at any point. You need to pause, breathe. If this is not comfortable, this is where you can come back into tabletop instead if getting all the way back into child's pose just isn't happening. But we're going to start at least this first round in child's pose, arms reached, extended. Breathe in, breathe out. And then arms are out, hands, fingers wide on the mat. Your hands should be in a pretty good spot, but you may need to adjust them. But you're going to shift your hips forward. You can tuck your knees in a little bit if you need to. And not sink, but drop your hips a little bit here. So you want that straight line from the shoulders to the hips. So our butt isn't up in the air, but it's also not sinking down. So we have that neutral position. Belly button in, and then draw those shoulder blades down the back and work on one mini push-up here. So we just bend the elbows, let them graze your ribs, and then exhale and push away. And then inhale, lower all the way down. And again, slide the shoulder blades down the back, elbows pointing right behind you, and your gaze is at the front of the mat, not out in front, so you're not cranking on your neck. Your neck and chin is tucked in, protecting your spine, and then your chest is lifted. Again, we're just going as best we can, as far as we can. And big breath in. Exhale, push away from the ground. Knees stay on the ground. You're back in your modified plank, but you're shifting all the way back into child's pose. Again, find your breath here. I'm going to show that to you a couple more times at a more of a flow, a little quicker pace. Breathe in, breathe out. Working with the breath as you inhale, come all the way up into your modified plank. Pause for your breath. Next inhale, you lower, and then exhale, push away for one push-up. Inhale, lower all the way to the floor. Exhale, and inhale, lift up into your cobra. Pause for a breath, and exhale, push all the way back, child's pose. One more time. Breathe in, breathe out. Next inhale, transition forward, modified plank. Get yourself set up. As you inhale, lower, elbows graze the ribs. Exhale, push away. Inhale, lower all the way down. And up into your little baby cobra. Again, I always have to check myself. Watch your gaze, watch your neck. And next exhale, push all the way down. And child's pose. So this can be your little bit of a transition in and out of poses on the floor or into standing instead of doing full downward dog, upward dog, planks, all of that. And again, you can come into your tabletop and access that as well. So if we're coming all the way down from standing and we're finding our tabletop position, you can come right into it here and go right into your modified plank instead of coming all the way into child's pose again if that doesn't work for you. Okay, so that's one transition that you might find helpful to add in throughout the yoga practice. Again, if you have any flexibility issues, knee issues, back issues, wrist issues, if the quality isn't quite there, the form isn't there, you want to build that strength with using the modified plank and push up, and then work on the flexibility with the child's pose. One of my other favorite is instead of child's pose, like I said, you could do tabletop, but add in a cat cow. So what that would look like is we come into our tabletop position, right? Inhale, exhale, find your modified plank. Inhale, push up, exhale away. Inhale all the way down, exhale. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, tabletop, cat-cow. So there's just a little more moving of the knees or the arms to get in and out of tabletop and into your plank all the way down. Little baby cobra, shoulder blades slide down. Exhale, tabletop, and then you would go into your cat-cow. So that's also a great option as well. So I guess you have two options you could choose from that I think would be a really good addition to your practice and build up the foundation as you work towards those other poses.